Good Saturday night, everybody. This is Octavius Prime here with Starmarie Jones. Like I said, we bringing real content. We're gonna be talking about how it's proof that black men do protect black women. This was an idea of my friend Starmarie. I try not to toot my own horn, but this was her brainchild, and she wanted to talk about how we met. I I remember back in 2010 in December, probably around this time, we first started talking on over the over Facebook. You know what I mean? Back then and during that time in the conscious community, it was real open. A lot more open and what that many beefs. Conscious people were just conscious people. Whether you was Israelite, Nawapian, because like back then I've been in many circles listening to different people. I always had my constitution of who I am as Israelite and who I what I believe in. I never wavered, but I did talk to other people to see what their point of view was, whether it been atheists, Nawapians, Kemites, whatever, just to see what our people are believing in these days and times back then. Um, and I met Star, and she was a very interesting person. And I met on the internet. I was working overnight at a particular warehouse job, and we talked a lot over the phone. But our friendship really didn't truly develop until around 2012 when you came to Miami, right, Star?
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. So I want to just go into that time when you came down here. I think it was 2012. Uh, how it all started. Because I remember telling you when you came to Miami, I was like, dude, you got to check in when you go to Miami. You got to go to South Florida. I know people that
Well,
can.
okay. Well, first and foremost, before I even jump in, I just want to say hi, everybody.
Hmm.
Light and love. Thank y'all for being here. That's number one. Because
Yeah.
I just don't want y'all on the show and I'm just jumping in and just like, oh, just going into it because it's not about me. It's not about Octavius. It's not about you. It's about the all. And we want to always make sure that when we have these conversations, that we make it about the collective, which is all of us. So
Hmm.
I just want to say hi. I don't say hello because hell is low, and you all know, of course, because this is a very well versed group from the last time speaking, so y'all already know that hell is low. So some of y'all are in the same mindset as me, but I still like to each one teach one. So hi, people, light and love, and I'm just gonna go into this like this. Octavius was one of my first 8 FB friends when I came back from Iraq. I did 7 tours in Iraq, as y'all know, and I really didn't have social media. But when I came back from the desert, I got my first Facebook page around 2010, a little shortly after I gave birth to my son. So I was still already married. I had a child and everything, but I was teaching right knowledge online. So I always been in the conscious community. As a teenager and in my early 20s. However, things took a turn and I ended up having to become a dancer. And I definitely want to get into that story later on when if you guys have questions on that later on when I became a stripper. But I felt like this portion of this platform and me being interviewed on Octavia's show and why I'm here, I think that is important to our audience, and I think that's important to our friends, and I think it's important to the collective to understand the origin and the texture of him and my relationship, because I already know about people capping and having YouTube marriages and all the drama, and this one's
Yeah.
and this one trying to follow this girl, and this one trying to get ass, and this one trying to get coochie, and this one trying to make her boyfriend jealous. It's not that type of party here. Octavius, when I met him, he was teaching karate in the communities for over 10 years. He taught at homeless shelters. I knew his dad, God rest in peace, dad, Mr. Neblet. His father was
Mr. Earl. Mr. Earl.
yeah, his
Yeah.
father was into right knowledge as well. Matter of fact,
He was a 6th degree black belt So me and him, we taught the community for 11 years.
Hmm.
The first 3 years, he started it off, and while I was a teenager, I did um, I taught karate from being the senior student till like the time I became a black belt myself. So we did that for free for 11 years in our community. So, but go ahead, Star.
No, it's okay. I mean, we
Hmm.
chatting, so I ain't never rushing you. You know,
Yeah, no, no, you good.
so I ended up getting a divorce. I ended up losing my child through a custody battle, a very very nasty custody battle. And in the midst of me getting a divorce, I actually lost my job at the time, because I wasn't in a good mental place. And we all have times in our life where we fall, but it's not about falling, it's about getting up. And this is why I preach and I teach, and I want this around my name. Here's the saying, y'all can write this down. Life is not about keeping the strong strong, it's about keeping the weak from falling. Okay? Because most of our population, unfortunately, is not in the 1%. So none of us are above. And if we don't fight to keep the weak from falling, we're only as strong as our weakest link. And if we are only as strong as our weakest link and we don't fight for weak people to not fall, then we could lose our planet and we can lose our world. Okay? So I just want to tell y'all that I once was, I'm not going to say a fallen angel because that's above my pay grade, but I once was a fallen human, just like other humans out there. So sometimes I go into situations a little naive and I try to help people that will bite me in my ass, and I end up in a whole lot of trouble, and I'll end up getting myself in trouble because I'm around the wrong crowd. But I guess because of my walk and where I came from, I have this soft place in my heart where it's hard for me to turn away a fallen human because I've been a fallen human. And I'm working on my discernment as far as what energies that are salvageable versus which energies are not. So I'm working on that in prayer. So that's why I stay in meditation, because sometimes I'm a little weak myself and I put my hands out there to help others, and then they just basically, can you help me with this? Because I'm getting emotional because I'm getting ready to tell our story. I'm getting very emotional right now because what I'm about to tell you guys, I just hold it near and dear, and I just need y'all to know that Octavius he's basically my lucky charm, and I'm lucky to be alive. And if it wasn't for him, we would not be having this platform and this conversation. If this man that's right here, Octavius, this man right here on this Restream studio with me, if he was not alive and God didn't make him the great individual that he is, I would not be standing here having this conversation with y'all today. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get into it like this. So I started dancing in Miami, and I was homeless, and I was sleeping on South Beach for, I think, like 3 months straight. I did. And the reason why is because at that time in Miami, it was very hard and difficult to get an apartment in your name if you don't have a check, like a check from a job. Like, they don't, in Florida, if you don't have pay stubs and stuff like that, they don't really like to give you apartments. They're very very strict. Well, at that time, and the only thing that you could get for housing was motels and hotels. But the sex trafficking and the pimp and hoe game was so big in Miami at that time that
Yeah, it
you're a
was.
female by yourself in Miami trying to make some quick money to try to get yourself out of whatever hole you're in, and you start sleeping in hotels, it could be a very dangerous situation. Because a lot of people's like, well, why didn't you go sleep with some other hoes and go to the hotels with them? Why you slept on the beach? I felt safer in my car. I literally felt safer sleeping in the back of my car, in the trunk of my car. I had no insurance because I didn't even have, when I got to Miami, I didn't even have the money to pay for my yearly insurance. So I went to Miami with a truck that was not insured.
Yeah, I
And
remember that truck.
you remember the truck? And
It was white, right?
it was a white truck. I had a white,
Yeah, yeah.
because I lost everything. I lost everything. The only thing I had left from my situation was that Denali, and it ended up getting shot up, by the way, guys. my truck got shot up 6 times while I was inside of it, and the head gasket got hit. So I lost the truck. I ended up losing that truck, but that truck was my house starting out in the dancing world. So anyway, I went to Walmart. I bought a bunch of pillows. I bought a bunch of blankets, and my truck was basically my bedroom. And Miami has showers on every corner on the beach, and I actually was taking showers on the beach to go back and forth to work. So when I got to my job, I met a group of Haitians, some Haitian guys, and I'm saying Haitians because not because I have anything to say against Haitians, but I'm being honest. I'm telling you guys my story. So I met a group of Haitians. They weren't the Zoes, so just to keep it real, it wasn't the Zoes, but it was a group, and they all was on some sock passe stuff, had the Haitian flags and everything like that. And I had told one of the security, I said, hey, it's hard for me to get an apartment for rent, and it's hot outside, and I'm running my car all night with the AC, and it's just a lot going on. Cops keep messing with me. I really need a room for rent. Do y'all know anybody renting a room for rent? And they was like, well, how much you want to spend? I said, well, maybe $100 a week, $150 a week. I don't mind. That's cool. So they took me to one of their guys to rent a room from him. Well, lo and behold, I didn't know that they took me to a pimp. Okay, so they took me to a pimp. And when I got to the destination, they took my car keys, they took my phone, they locked me in a house, and there was a whole big old music studio in the basement. I guess these people did music, and I'm not gonna say their names I don't want to be a snitch because I'm not talking to police right now. I'm talking to our group because I need y'all to understand how me and Octavius relation. This is all about how I met Octavius. This is not a tell all. Like I'm not trying to snitch on anybody. I'm not trying to incriminate anybody or the people still alive and
Yeah, as
still.
long as you ain't naming nobody, you good.
Huh?
As long as you're not naming anybody, you good.
Okay, yeah, because I
Yeah,
mean it's YouTube, and you know how it is.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
YouTube is crazy, and they take what they want to take.
It's real crazy.
Around it, and you know I'm not afraid at all, because when you stand on solid ground, and when you stand in the truth, and when you're a genuine person, it doesn't matter how many people slander you, because you. And at the end of the day, if you are living in your truth, that slander will roll off I want you guys to know out there, don't be afraid to stand in your truth. Let that shit roll off of you like water off of a duck. All right? People have been trying to slander me for the last 10, 15 years, but because I'm solid and I'm truthful and I stand in who I am, I can be here right now, a strong woman, and talk to y'all. And they're not gonna silence me. And if they do silence me, they have to do it by force. But let's get back to this story. So they took everything from me, right? And I didn't have no money. I had nothing. Like, I was just stuck. But there was one thing that I didn't tell them. They didn't know that I lived in my car. So my spare key was underneath the seat. Thank God, Jesus. Thank God, in the name of Jesus. My spare key to my truck was underneath the driver's seat, and my car in the back, because I lived in my car, the window in the back part of the truck, like the back, if you got a truck, the back is open, where I know how to rig and open the trunk part to get in my car. So these guys left that day, and they went to the airport to go pick up other chicks. They didn't leave me alone. I was stuck in their house for like 3 weeks, imprisoned. No, they didn't. The brother had sex with me, but they didn't get to sell me because they wasn't finished grooming me yet. They had beauticians coming to the house, people coming to the house, do my nails, all types of stuff, but they didn't get to really groom me correctly. So they weren't letting me go out to dance. They didn't have any customers set up for me yet, but they was basically setting me up to sex traffic me. And the brother of the guy who was supposed to rent the house to me, he came in and he had sex with me. And one time, thank God. Okay. So anyway, and thank God I didn't get no diseases behind that. Jesus, thank you, Lord. I didn't catch HIV. I didn't catch herpes. I didn't catch anything behind that situation. So I'm thankful. And I have everything to be thankful for. Okay. And so I speak a little bit of Spanish. I'm bilingual, and I'm not a Spanish woman. I actually learned how to speak Spanish outside in the streets. So they had a gardener, a Mexican gardener, that would come over to the house weekly to cut the grass and to clean the pool out and to get everything ready. And I told him in Spanish, I said, can you please help me leave because I don't want to be here. And the guys that was watching me, they had to go to the hotel, I mean to the airport in Miami. They had to go to the airport to go pick up other women. That's the first time they left me in 3 weeks by myself. And I took that chance to escape. Now, it was a suicide mission because these people that sex traffic girls, they're all connected. Like, it's hard to get from one spot to the next spot to the next spot before they catch up with you. So it was a suicide mission because I didn't have no money and I didn't even know how much gas I was going to have in my truck. And I didn't want to go to the police because a lot of times the police will work with these people. Like, you think you call into the police and you'll mess around and be going to somebody that's in their network.
Yeah, it's a
So,
racket.
huh?
A racket. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a racket. So
Mhm.
I was scared. I ain't gonna lie, but in my heart, I was like, listen, I'd rather die before I be a prisoner and before my family never see me again on some shit like this. Like, I just couldn't understand because I was telling, I said, yo, I have a son that I'm fighting for custody for. I was only dancing so I could make money to pay for my lawyers. I can't do this. Like, I can't be in this house and be one of your bitches because I have a child at home that I'm fighting for. The whole reason why I went to go dance is because I was fighting for custody for my son and I was trying to really just get my life back, and I just didn't have any other route. I had no type of other money, and they didn't even care. They were very insensitive. And I also told them, I said, my truck is not insured. Sooner or later, the insurance people are gonna be coming after me, the motor vehicle. Like, my whole life is, I just can't do this. And they didn't care. So I asked the Mexican gardener. I said, listen, can you get me out of here because I can't be here. I have a child. And I love Mexicans. I do. I love them. Oh my God. I love, 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 love Mexicans. They're very family oriented. I've spent a lot of time in Mexico and I feel very connected to Mexicans because a Mexican played a part in my situation. That might sound selfish, but I told the Mexican gardener my story. I told him I had a child at home. I told him I wasn't about this life. I told him I'm sorry if I look like this, but this is not who I am. And I guess he felt a certain way and he didn't say nothing. He just gave me that look and he left the gate unlocked in the back so that I could slide out. And he acted like he did it. He basically helped me without telling me he's helping me because he listened to me. He was like an angel sent from God, if that makes sense to y'all. So when I got out, I jumped in my car, got the spare key because the guys had my keys and they had my IDs and all that stuff. And I got to the library and I called Octavius. For some reason or another, Octavius' number is the only number that I knew by heart. Octavius, because I called you from the library, remember?
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Remember
remember that.
I called you from the library? I had to go to the library, the public library, to call Octavius. And I called Octavius out of nowhere. I never met Octavius in person. He was a Facebook friend, but I knew his background. I met his father. I knew he was teaching karate in community. I knew he was a good man. I knew he was a good soul. And I said, you know something? That's a black man that loves who he is. So he has to be a black man that will protect his black woman. Because the thing what we have to understand, people, is when you meet guys or when you meet people in general, if they don't love themselves, if they don't love their self initially, if they're displaying self-hate, like drugs, selfishness, not tiding, not giving back to community, nine times out of 10, that's not the person you really want to associate with. Okay, so I want to teach people how to find the right people to associate with too, because that's very important. And
Yes.
by the grace of God, like, I had mad people phone numbers at that time, but Octavia's phone number was the only phone number that I knew by heart. And I called him. Now, he never met me in person. He never met me in person. He knew I was married when he met me. I had a child. He knew I became a stripper. I fell on downtowns. I was homeless. He could have wrote me off like, oh, this bum bitch just want to get money out of me. She ain't nobody. He could have done that. But I called him. I told him the truth. I said, listen, I was kidnapped. I don't have my wallet. I have nothing. I don't have anything. I got to get out of here. I need money. Octavius sent me a large amount of money. He didn't know me from a hole in the wall. He didn't know me from a hole in the wall. And I was so distraught that I didn't even run game on him. I just basically told him what my situation was. He sent me money and he said, yo, I'm not going to tell you where your location is, Octavius.
No, I
He
don't know.
said, drive here. This is so-and-so away from your destination. Can you drive here? I'm going to send you enough money for gas, and I'm going to send you enough money to stay in the La Quinta Hotel for a week. But the La Quinta Hotel that he had me staying in, it wasn't no hole in the wall. It was some old high price shit.
It
And
actually was very nice. I
it
remember it.
was very nice. Like I
Yeah.
had a couch in my room. I had a big screen TV. I had champagne and all. I was like, I ain't never seen no look into like this. At that time, I wasn't really,
Oh.
I was just out fresh out the military Iraq, and I'm going from being homeless on the beach to getting sex trafficked to, and when Octavia sent me the money, I got there and he put me up for the week. And what really got me with him, Octavius is a very handsome black man. Let me tell y'all, in person, he's a very, very handsome black man. Tall,
I
very
appreciate it.
person. Some people, they aren't as photogenic. I mean, he's handsome to me on photos too, but he's a very clean girl. Ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. Very clean, well-mannered, handsome man in person. Has his life totally together. I don't care what y'all might. I've heard things about him on the internet. I'm just like, these people are lost in the fucking sauce. Like they really are. But where I'm going with this is he didn't try to have sex with me at all. He was so passionate about my safety, and I was a streetwalker at this time. So this man could have easily been like, you know what? I sent you money. I put you up in a hotel. Can I get my balls licked, or can you give me some ass? And at my vulnerability state, he probably would have gotten that far with me. Honestly, he probably
Mhm.
would have. But y'all know what this man did, and y'all know what this man did. Uh, Instead of that, he maintained a 10-year. We've been friends for over 10 years, right? Octavius, 12 years.
Yeah.
He got me on the right route. Octavius was like, you know what your problem is? And I said, what? He sat and talked to me. He said, your problem is that conscious community stuff. You need God. And Octavius bought me a book called The Book of Enoch. Okay. Now, mind you, I had a little bit of Christian background because I told y'all on our last live that my parents was into the Bible and all this stuff. But oh my God.
Yeah. Let me say this real quick. The Book of Enoch pretty much debunks a lot of the Nuwapian doctrine. Period. But go ahead, Star.
Okay, so Angelica said you didn't try to marry him because what? Okay, so Angelica, now that's deep because people ask me all the time, like, if he was this great, why you didn't marry him? But at the time, Octavius didn't want me like that. He was trying to build me like I wasn't ready for him. He was way more advanced than I was at the, like I'm advanced now, but we talking 10 years prior to now. See, we're not in real time. In my past, I was like like she said, Oshun, right? Like I was like a ugly duckling that had to turn into a peacock. You understand? I was like a what was the peacock before it became a peacock? Octavius, what's that bird?
I don't know. We got a Shun. I'm not really.
Oshun was
Shun is in the chat right now. She's an E5, so she.
okay, but
Yeah.
Oshun was an ugly bird, and then she became
Yeah.
a peacock. So that's what it was with Octavius. Like at the time,
Mm.
Octavius was more concerned about me um elevating my mind more so than, yo, she's mad pretty, she's petite, she bald headed, she on this Nuwapian shit. and these niggas did this, and I can get some ass. Octavius was getting mad ass at the time. He didn't need to, so he didn't. It wasn't that I didn't marry him. He at that time I wasn't wifey material. I just wasn't. And Octavius was working for a Fortune 500 company at the time. I'm not going to tell you guys what company because that's his privacy. Because I had met him at his job when he saved me. I had to meet him at work. So Octavius was working at a Fortune 500 company at the time. He's a corporate man. So it wasn't, and I was just some hoe in the street trying to find my way. So this is how me and him became friends. This is how we became best friends. And
Yeah.
so anyway, because I that's answering Angelica's question. So Octavius ended up telling me, you know, I'm gonna get you a couple books. You bought me the Book of Enoch. You bought me, what's the other book you got me, Octavius?
Book of Jubilees.
The Book of Jubilees.
Yeah.
And he was like, your problem is that conscious community star. You have to get away from them. Them people don't like you. And I argue with Octavius. I think that's how we ended up on bad terms, Octavius, because I was
Yeah.
arguing
We cut our friendship for
we
a
cut
year or
our
two at
friendship
times sometimes.
because I really thought that this conscious community was family. And Octavius like, look, they're not saving you. Look at you. Look, you need God. You need Jesus. You need this. Like, look at you. You're a hot fucking mess, bitch. And you're smart. And you're cute. And you're a nice looking girl. And you got a good heart. But your enemy is what you're following. You can't do this. So Octavius, tell your side. And then we'll go back to me.
Yeah, pretty much, you know, that like, I was on another show and somebody said I wasn't an Israelite, and I want to say this about that. Um, I've been part of a certain groups, which I'm not going to name, but the main thing is if you're not making a difference, you know what I mean? If you're not actually going out here helping children, become better people, um, helping turning people's lives around, if you don't have charity, you don't have nothing, as the scriptures say. And then people want to get into the knowledge of, all of the what's in the Hebrew and the Greek and everything like that. But at the end of the day, like there's a mission that we must be on to actually affect our brothers and sisters' lives. You know what I'm saying? And like your star is just one of many people I've helped in that way. It's a form of charity. You know what I mean? When you can help your fellow man and fellow woman, when you can see good in them. But the main thing is what Star did compared to a lot of other people I've met. Just like when somebody's drowning, you got to reach your hand out for help. You know what I'm saying? And she did. So
He always tells me not to cut you up, Octavia. He always
mm,
tells me you're the only one that listens. That's why I like you because you listen. These bitches don't,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
listen. I mean,
yeah, 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 yeah. That's the thing, and it's like other people listen, but it's far and few, right? And like it's like the thing is when you want to when you want change in your life, you know what I mean. You got to be willing to take the first step towards that change. You just can't stay stagnant. You know what I mean. And Star wanted a change in her life. Star was a veteran that fell on hard time. That experienced a lot of trauma when she was in the military, and went
came.
through a lot of pain, even with our marriage and everything. And there was a lot of hurt going on. You know what I mean? But that's why we gotta be there for our fellow man and woman, regardless of sex. You know what I mean? And be there for people in time of need, regardless of how they look too. Because sometimes you think that you could take advantage of somebody based upon how they look. When they're vulnerable. And for me, that's not God. You know what I mean? And so, like I say this is that when people want to challenge somebody on their religious beliefs or their religion, are you doing the highest form of practice of that religion or that belief system, which is charity? Are
Yeah,
you changing people's lives? Have you led somebody to a better place? So like right now, Star wasn't a Wapian in the conscious community, believed in a lot of different things. But after she left that for some strange reason, and she has a master's degree. She's doing very well in her life, living very comfortably, you know what I mean, after leaving all of that vanity behind. And when I mean vanity, I mean like fugazi type of fake shit. So that's what I'm saying. But go
So
ahead, sir.
so the point and the point I wanted to make too with this, because I asked Octavius, could we do this show for y'all? Um, the point that I really wanted to make in this show, and if I have shows in the future, I want to tell women out there are black men out here that will protect their black woman, because I see so much online about black men not protecting black women, and oh, black niggas ain't shit. You know why I love my son so much? I hold him so near and dear, and he's a black boy, and I have a black dog that's a male dog, and I love my dad, because there are black men that do love us black girls. They do. They really, really do. I think what the problem is, I think what the problem is that you're we attract who we are. If we're broken and we're not whole, or we've never been whole before in our life, because I've been whole before in my life. That's why I knew how to choose Octavius. When I met Octavius, like I said, I had just came back from Iraq. I just had my son. I was in a marriage, so I was whole at the time when I chose him to be my friend. At the time when I chose Octavius to be my friend, I was whole, so I was attracting whole niggers to me. He's not a nigger, but a whole person. You understand what I'm saying? Because I attracted, that's what I had to remember, that when I met this man, I was a whole person. So a lot of times, ladies, when y'all attract broken men or disrespectful men, is because you're broken and you disrespect yourself. So I want to let the black woman know that there are black men out here that are awesome, and never run around bitter because some broken black man done dissed you or broke your heart or set you up for failure or used you. He's broken and you attracted him because you were broken. Okay? It ain't pretty period, point blank. Okay? So when I attracted Octavius as a whole person, like I said, he had a good resume. And the good resume, all it pointed to was self-love. If a
Yeah.
person doesn't love they self, they can't love nobody else. Love starts within. And you know what makes people not love themselves? They live in lies. A person that's a liar, a person that is a liar, a big time liar, and can't stand in no type of truth, and everything about them is folly and facade, that is self-hate. And most people who take drugs and have drug addictions and alcohol addictions, it's not because they're reckless. It's not because they don't love God. It's not because somebody beat them in their head. It's because they are a liar. And their parents have not taught them where lies get you. When you lie so much about life, and you lie so much about yourself, and you lie so much to other people, you become inebriated within, and then you're open to all types of brokenness. And then you attract broken people to you. And then guess what? You can't have an olive branch to reach out to you when you end up in a vulnerable position. And a lot of our brothers and our sisters out here, unfortunately, have died in situations like I was in, and have gotten killed in situations like I was in, or ended up with HIV and herpes in situations like I was in, because they chose to put their trust in the wrong friends and the wrong people. Y'all cannot be upset and angry when the wrong type of people leave your life, because when you become whole, you will see that broken people will fucking fall off by the fucking wayside. They will fall off of you. Don't take it as isolation. Don't take it as you're by yourself. Don't take it as loneliness. Take that shit as a blessing. Thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, in the name of Jesus. Now again, here Octavius is 10 years later, after I done been ransacked online, after I've been disrespected by clowns, after I got a whole bunch of clowns online, clowns disrespecting me, a queen. Octavius comes and gets me and gives me this platform. Like, you know what? I still love you, friend. I'm still not trying to
I
take your
love you too.
vulnerability. I still love you this much, friend. Like I loved you 10 years ago when I saved you. And I want to bring you to my platform so that my people can hear your story. Because you know what? Your name don't really look good online, ma. Even though you happy and you strong because you do stand in your truth. I want to be an olive branch, and I want to merge you to a group of Sigma beings that I respect because I'm whole and I know they're whole, and I want you on here with us. So this right here, this is not some groupie shit. This is not no, oh, I'm trying to get clout off of Starmarie or Octavius is saving. This ain't that because I don't do online stuff. This is real.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, I'm glad to have you on. And like I said, when we look out online now, and I was on a show right before this started, and I said, it's nothing but darkness out here. There's no content, but bunch of people hating each other, beefing with each other. You know what I mean? This is not the conscious community that me and you knew 10 years ago, where it was openness to talk to anybody and just hear anybody out. You know what I mean? And I think that it's a good thing that we're bringing that back, and we're trying to teach. The first thing is to love yourself. Saying that way you can start to exude that love to others, and then once you get to that higher form of love, now you're at a form of love called charity, where you can start to want to build up your brothers and sisters, regardless of their sex, age, gender, or whatever. You know what I mean? This is what when I envisioned the conscious community and what I thought it was going to be about. It was going to be about building each other up as Black people and people in general. So, this is my vision. It's one of the people that I've helped and also helped spiritually, what I'm saying, out of that dark place. And
And then I just helped him with health food stuff because I always been a
yeah.
health.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. That's why I know about herbs so well. Like,
mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like, yeah, we would be on
I
the phone
go
sometimes talking for like
I,
4 or 5 hours about herbs. So
like health wise and stuff. But
yeah,
that's another thing Octavius was telling me too. He's like, girl, don't be sharing all that stuff. You don't want the FDA or the government or people coming after you. They
yeah,
kill people that know too much. So chill out with all that health shit. So I used to. I was going hard on health way before I met Dr. Sabi, way before. I didn't go to Dr. Sabi to learn. First of all, I'm gonna tell y'all this too, and the only reason I can bring up Dr. Sabi is because me and Dr. Sabi had very good rapport. Okay, he's not alive at this point. I didn't learn nothing from Dr. Sabi. Okay, nothing. So people running around Sabians talking about, oh, she came and stole Sabian's knowledge, or she was trying to get clout, or she was trying to. First of all, it cost me $6,000 to go to the Usha village. I paid that money. I paid for
yeah.
that, and
Yeah,
I
you
had
paid
to.
for it. Yeah,
Okay, that's number one. I never went to no Dr. Sabi to be famous or none of that stuff. I went to Dr. Sabi because at the time when I went to Dr. Sabi, I thought that I had HIV. I didn't, but I was in denial. But I thought I did, and I thought I had herpes too. And even though I was a health guru myself, I still
which you don't have.
no,
So
I don't, no, no,
yeah,
no. But
okay. So we gonna clear that up.
listen, I stand in
Yeah,
my truth, Octavius. Whether
yeah,
they say I have herpes, AIDS, or whatever, I don't give a fuck. Like, excuse me for saying that, but I'm not. We
yeah.
not here. I'm not here to impress y'all. I'm here to tell you guys the real, because you
Mm-hmm.
can't tell people, you can't help other people unless you're real about you. And the crazy part, you know what I learned too through this, Octavius? All of us, all humans, all of us, we all kind of got the same. We all really the same, but we think we're different. Like with your coochie itching, you might not want to go get tested because you might be, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, maybe I'm afraid. I don't want to, I'm in denial. Or if you, we all humans got the same little attitudes. You feel me? So
Yeah,
anyway, I went to Dr. Sabi and I ended up getting tested after that, and nothing was wrong with me, thank God. But I went to him for various different reasons. I had my own reasons, and I went to it and I paid for it. And no, Dr. Sabi wasn't trying to have sex with me because I was going to Dr. Sabi to get healed, because I felt like he was more I felt like he was more skilled in that portion of health than I ever could have been. But boy, oh boy, was I wrong, because I had the answer the whole time. But that's a whole nother channel. So I just want to let y'all know that when I lost my train of thought because you said something, but I was trying to make a point. But the point of the matter is, um I ended up getting a lot of beef with the conscious community around that Dr. Sabi time, right?
oh yeah, yeah. I remember
Octavius.
that.
And
That
I
about
think
2006. 16.
right? And then shortly after that, I went to the Yada village, right? And then me and you fell out because you was trying to tell me like, man, leave them niggas alone. Like you're doing so good. Like they about to fuck you up, right? Something
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
But
We had to, but
I'm
we gonna
arguing.
take it. We're gonna go it short with that story. I think that's a whole
Okay,
other story. But
so
just you had to pretty much you had to run for your life through the bushes in
that, so
Ecuador.
yeah, so basically the reason why me and Octavius wasn't friends around my social media incident that I had back in 2018, 2019 was because I was delving in the conscious community again when me and him been talking about this 7 years prior. Like, listen, they don't like you. Them people do not like you, Star. And I'm just like, but why? Right, Octavius? I'm a
Yeah,
god.
yeah,
I thought I was listen, I was naming myself Makula, Makaba. Well, I had a bunch of names, right?
yeah.
And Octavius like, Star, you're playing yourself. Them people will turn on you at the drop of a hat. And lo and behold, let me tell you something. When I got ran through and ransacked in 2018, 2019, 2020, yo, everything my friend right here been arguing with me, literally arguing me. Because one thing about Octavius, he like, how tall are you, Octavius? You a giant. You about
Yeah,
7 feet.
6'4", 6'4".
Oh, 6'4", but I'm really short. I'm 5'2", 5'3". So
Yeah,
Octavius looks really tall next to me. Like when I seen him, he was like a giant. But Octavius is not a punk. He's not. Like he's very soft spoken, but
mhm.
he will like he don't put me in my place. Like, look, chick. And yeah, so I didn't. So just to let y'all know, I didn't go to Dr. Sabi for no clout or to get no TV or be like Left Eye. Matter of fact, I didn't even know about Dr. Sabi through Left Eye. I knew about Dr. Sabi way before that, and Dr. Sabi wasn't even on the map in the hood like that until I went to visit him. I'm the one who brought that back to life, and not knowing I did because I didn't know I was being watched. I had no idea. I had no idea that I was even targeted. I had no idea that I was X marked the spot. I had no idea who I was when I took that trip to Honduras. I just thought I was taking a trip and I was going to go heal myself, and I paid my little money like any other regular person just buying a ticket to go somewhere to go get healed. I didn't know people from the college community was like, yo, I didn't know they was looking at me like, who gave her the right to passage to go visit the king, or who gave her the clearance to take that kind of trip. I didn't know
Yeah,
that,
and
huh?
that's what the treehouse talk about the cult mentality. Sometimes you could just be like little gurus, and they feel like they own you. When you start to talk to them and get knowledge from them, especially in the conscious community.
Right. I had
Yeah.
no idea what I was doing because one thing about me, I'm very, very extremely generous. I love supporting people's brands. If they selling books, I'm the first one to buy them. Anybody that's on my Instagram here, if y'all selling books, perfume, soaps, whatever. One thing about me, I love buying stuff from people that are into health and welfare because it makes me feel like I'm paying my tithes. And also, I read the Bible now a lot. Not that I'm a Bible thumper, and I'm not trying to throw Christianity in everybody's face, but I know that charity. Octavius taught me a lot about charity too. Charity is what keeps your blessings and your money coming in. So
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. So when I found out about Dr. Sabi and I was a stripper and a dancer at the time, I was making five, six, seven, $800 a night, sometimes $2,000 in a day. I felt happy. I wanted to give that man $6,000 because I'm a generous person anyway, by nature, by trait. Like anything a person need, Octavius will tell you. Octavius doesn't ask me for stuff, but he knows. Like I'm very generous.
Yeah, yeah. Like when I went through some ordeals with my former employer, and I was down and out. I mean, I had a friend that held me up for that time, and it's Starmarie. So when you've invested in people, and when your time of need comes, you'll have somebody in your corner if you have properly invested in people the right way. You know.
And the thing I like about this is that you got two people, like he's my witness and I'm his witness. We're actually dialecting and telling you guys what it is. So whatever y'all hear online, because they build narrative. YouTube is a nasty place, man. It could be good. We got to bring light and sun to YouTube because it's become a nasty place. People build narratives around other people. if one YouTuber don't like you, 10 others don't like you. They don't know you from a hole in the wall, just trying to mess up your reputation, trying to hurt you from getting a job. They don't know the hat, they don't know the story, they don't know nothing. They just going off of, oh, that's the new person that we can, that's the witch hunt right there. We're gonna do a witch hunt on her, or that's the kick a dead horse mo, or that's the person that we can all just jump on. Like it's a very savage like, and it's become a very savage like environment, and it's sad. So the other day when Niqua B TV asked me did I have a page, well, this is one of the reasons of 100 why I don't have a page, because I could, this story that me and Octavius is telling y'all, if you leave it up to YouTube, it will never connect like this. It'll be some old other bullshit like, oh, she don't got no friends, nobody likes her, so she just gonna run to Octavius, or whatever happened with Octavius. I don't know. I heard some last minute stuff. Oh, Octavius is just using her, because no, Octavius not using me for nothing, and I'm not using him for nothing. Like what we got right now, as far as our interviews and whatever, this is his platform. This is not our platform. This is his platform. But as far as me being on here, this is real. And I wouldn't trade Octavius and our friendship for $1 billion.
Yeah.
No, we're not sexual partners. No, we're not married. No, we're not. But we are very good, genuine friends. Some people ask why and why not and why this and why not. Well, we don't. Me and Octavius, we're what you call Sigma beings. We don't really think about the why, because it's not really about why. It's about what is. We're it's more like the Pythagorean theorem. It's about what is current. The current thing is that we have a friendship and we love each other and we're there for each other no matter what, wherever we can be, wherever we
We're
can be.
counterparts, but we're opposite in the same at
Exactly.
the
Like,
same time. Yeah.
so when I got dragged on social media, the reason why Octavius wasn't there for me at that particular time is because we were not on good terms. But the nice part about Octavius is when he seen me getting dragged for too long, he got upset and he gave me a call and he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna not be your friend.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm mad at you.
And some of those nasty videos that
Yeah,
was put out about her, I flagged. I was
telling
the one
you,
that flagged them.
yeah, I know I'm mad at you because I keep telling you leave them conscious community niggas alone, but they dragging you too much. You need somebody, so I'm coming back. So he actually became my friend inside the fire. See, here's one thing that I want to leave y'all with, and y'all take this. Y'all could take this to the bank. Everybody has a fire to walk through. Everybody has a fire to walk through. We all have a fire to walk through. Some of us walk through that fire and get scorched and burnt, and we leave that fire bitter and burnt for the rest of our lives. Then others of us, like myself and like Octavius, we go through that fire and we become one with that fire. And as we become one with that fire, we come out refined. We warm up to that fire. We become one with that fire. And we allow that same fire that we're inside of to burn out all the bullshit around us. And as that fire burns out the bullshit around us, we walk out refined. See, you got two type of people in this world, two different type of people in this world. It's only two type. It's only two type. The one that's going to be in that fire and going to get burnt and be bitter forever, and it's gonna be the other one that's gonna warm up to that goddamn fire and become one with the fire, and it'll make that same fire that they're in burn out all the bullshit around them, and then they walk out that bitch refined, looking look like Phoenix, like looking like ashes behind them.
Yeah.
See, my rear view mirror, that shit is rose color, baby. I don't even use it. Matter of fact, I done cracked the glass. I don't even look in the rear view no more. The only reason why this is one Octavius, my past with Octavius is nutritional. It is of nutritional value to my life. It feeds my life. So that's something that I can hold on to, because if the person is of no nutritional value to your life, past, present, or future, then they are a subtraction and they are not an addition. And let me tell you something, every day that you live and every day that you go through life, every day that you leave, you're closer to your death. All of us are promised one thing in the world, and that is to die. So every day that we live, we're closer to that end date. Okay. So if a motherfucker is not an attraction, is not an addition to your life, they are subtraction. You don't need subtractions in your life. You already are born to subtract. You're already subtracting days as you live. You don't need no extra outside entity coming in and subtracting more shit from you. No. No.
Yeah. And when I went through my ordeal on YouTube recently, the treehouse was there for me. The people at the treehouse that's in the chat, the majority of people that's in the chat was there with me when I went through my tests, and they went through the fire with me. So that's why I will always have loyalty to Tripsy's treehouse and all those who are subscribed.
So um I think what I want to, and I'm not trying to close it out. And we've been going for an hour now, and I'm not timing it. But like
Yeah.
I said, I think the gist of this is not only sharing our story with y'all, but it's also teaching or sharing, teaching other leaders. Because like I told you on the last page, I don't teach students, I teach leaders. We're all leaders here.
Mm.
If somebody tells you you're a student, that's a negative for you. We all
Yeah.
grown ass adults. Our parents already raised us. We all out here doing whatever it is that we can to put food on our table and do what we need to do. So nobody, unless they're in a college or some type of educational institution and you pay the tuition, you are not their student. You are their leader. Okay. We are all leaders. Each one teach one. So with that being said, I think what I'm sharing through testimony, not because I think I'm a know-it-all, but through testimony, because we all learn from each other's testimonies. Now, some of y'all could say, you know what? Well, I don't like her testimony, so I'm not gonna learn from that, and that's okay. That's good for you. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not telling you that I'm a know-it-all. All I'm telling you is I can only teach my leaders from my own experience, and you could take it like a grain of salt or take it for what it is. If it can help you, it can help you. If it can't, but this is what I'm saying. When you choose your friends, when you choose people that you want in your life, make sure that they love themselves. Because if they do not love themselves, and how do you know if a person loves themselves? How do you know if a person loves themselves? Well, when you get a guy that's sitting up there going to homeless shelters teaching karate for free, not getting paid for what he loves to do, not getting paid for what he loves to do, but he's not bitter about it because he's not getting paid for what he loves to do. That's the person who loves themselves. See, me, I got the body to be a model, but I'm not a model, but I still eat healthy and I still take care of my body. Even though I done been shadow banned and blackballed from the industry, I don't give a damn if they not going to discover me. I'm still going to take care of myself regardless. Or I could rap, like I'm very talented, but nobody wants to give me a record deal. You think I'm gonna stop writing music and stop rapping because motherfuckers don't want to give me a record deal? No, I love myself. So my self-love is not contingent upon anybody rewarding me for my own self-love. And this is how you know when someone loves themselves. This is how you pick your friends. When their happiness is not contingent upon being noticed or being validated by non-valid people. People who need to be validated by non-validated people, they hate themselves. And all they have to give you is pain. All they're offering you is their pain. And you know what? I'm going to tell y'all something else. I'm going to tell y'all something else too. And I'm glad I just went into this because you know what? Stupid people thrive where stupidity exists. Smart people thrive where smart people exist. So stupid people get rewarded and get paid by other stupid people. And smart people get rewarded by other smart people and get paid. So the point of the matter is understand your lane and stick to it. You can't be a smart person on the stupid side trying to overshadow the stupid because the stupid motherfuckers, they're going to kill your smart ass. And you can't be a stupid motherfucker
Yeah.
on the smart side trying to get paid from the smart people because the smart people gonna kill your stupid ass. So I had to separate myself. And then again, what is stupid to somebody? Like maybe my smart is stupid to a stupid person. Maybe a stupid person stupid is smart to me. Everybody, your soul selects a society. Everybody, whatever role they're playing or whatever bubble they're in, the object of the game is to go find the bubble that you belong in. Period. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you're a bubble inside of a if you're a bubble floating if you're a bubble floating on a body of water that has different bubbles from you, they're gonna pop your ass. They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
pop your goddamn bubble. So take heed. If you're a person that loves to go like me, I go to church every Sunday, right? But I don't go to a regular church. I actually go to Salvation Army Church. And I actually worship with the homeless. And I, you know what, one day I'm gonna take a picture of me in church. Me and my son, we're like the only clean people in the pews. It's a bunch of derelicts, and they have to go to church in order to get their to the
They
Salvation
usually get
Army
breakfast in the
to
morning
get their
for.
breakfast. They have to. So I actually worship in a homeless shelter. I mean, in Salvation Army Church. So it smells a little funny in there, and the people are really inebriated. But the reason why I worship in the Salvation Army Church where the homeless people are is because I feel like when the Salvation Army preaches, they're not preaching for popularity. They're actually teaching the truth because, see, the Salvation Army is going to get their money regardless. And their pastors, they wear military suits and they get promoted in rank. It's not about the typical church stuff, and it's really good. So any of you guys out there that like to go to church, if you like to, because you don't have to go to church to serve God. I mean, you can serve God however you're comfortable. But what I will suggest too, any of you guys that like to go to church, try the Salvation Army churches on Sunday. They're really, really good. I've had a change of heart about being a churchgoer once I found Salvation Army churches. So that's what I've been doing now as of lately. And my son, he loves it. We tried to go to I took him to another church, and my son was like, "Oh, mom, it's too bougie here. I want to go back to the homeless shelter church." And I was like, "For real?" He said, "Yeah, I really like it there because we're feeding people. People around me and my dog and my kid, and they really want. I just feel like we're showing, giving these people hope. You know, coming to their church and being around them and worshiping with them, making them feel like, you know what, they are somebody too. They are good people. They are worth something. So when you have, with that being said, when you have a person, when you're the type of person that's into charity, then you have to connect yourself with other people who are into charity. You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't be a person that's into charity chasing behind arrogant people who just want attention.
yeah,
Because it's not gonna work. It's like oil and vinegar.
yeah,
They ain't gonna
yeah.
work.
I don't want to stop your bill, but let me address that. Yeah, I was over there and they said I wanted an Israelite, but what I mean, where the fuck is that Mary Magdalene? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Who have they saved? Who have they taught karate to? Who have they have they fed the homeless? You know what I'm saying? Where are these works? Or is it just a bunch of people sitting on the corner streaming and thinking that they're gonna go to heaven all on their own in a little cult? You know what I mean? Like, where's the works? So yeah, I seen that, and it's whatever. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. I don't really care about what people have to say about me being an Israelite or what my faith may be. But I know one thing: I changed lives. You know what I mean? I have somebody up here who wanted to do this live based upon the fact that I helped change their life. They're not in a cult with me. You know what I mean? This person is prospering better than me right now. You know what I mean? From the things I imparted onto her and many others. But
But
that's
we don't
why
measure. We're
that's
not
why pretty
talking
much
about
I'm that's
measuring.
probably pretty much why I'm doing my own thing. I have been in a group of Israelites, which I'm not going to disclose. You know what I mean? So that's it is what it is. Like, show me your work, show me what you have done, show me what lives have you changed. You know what I'm saying? And then we could talk. You know what I mean? All that knowledge that you get from I've debated on Facebook and I did all those things. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, what happened? Ended up getting docs going through the same thing I'm going through again. Right? But at the end of the day, now we out here, we're trying to just build people up. Period. I'm not here to try to glorify and being like some Hebrew Israelite scholar. Did that before, and I really don't care to do it again. I'm trying to change people's
Right.
lives at this point.
I'm not out here trying to Bible thump and be a holy roly and none of that. That ain't what I'm doing. They'll pin that on me because they're negative and they don't love themselves and they don't understand. That ain't
Yeah,
what this is. Just like, you know what, Octavius, it's important. Remember, I did the suicidal witness for a year in Chicago. I volunteered
mhm,
for suicide awareness for a whole entire year in Chicago. I got pictures.
yeah,
I think I took the pictures down. I was doing marches. I was doing landscaping. I was talking to suicide victim families, reading their stories and stuff like that. And it was a blessing because that year, over 100,000 people had committed suicide in the Midwest alone in that
yeah,
1 year. And that was in 2017. So when the crap happened to me in 2018, 2019, I was like, oh, so all of that volunteer work that I put in and all of that giving my time and charity I put into suicide awareness, I was able. So charity, where I'm going with this, guys, is charity is very, very important because you never know what you're going to be up against and how charity in the lives of others can help you. Because me doing that suicide awareness program, and I wasn't in it. I was actually volunteering for a suicide awareness program before I got dragged on social media. I was God had prepared me. God had prepared a table before my enemies. See, I didn't know God was preparing me. I just was very happy and I was very gung ho about doing this volunteer work. I mean, I was given like 3 hours a day of my time, and I went to school originally. Remember, I went to school originally for mortuary science.
yeah.
That's what I originally had went through because I wanted to become a
Mortician.
not a mortician. I didn't want to do mortician. I forgot that, but it's the person that does when people get killed, you do autopsies and all of that for.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know someone. Yeah,
Yeah, I was trying to get that job, and so I was working for suicide awareness at that time and going to school full time, and then I ended up getting dragged online after that was after the Dr. Savvy trip. That was after the Dr. Savvy trip. It was after the whole yada thing. It was after that, and I was just I'm so happy because no, it was just before that. So it prepared me. It was before the yada thing and after the Dr. Savvy thing. It had
mhm,
prepared me. Yes, forensic, exactly. I wanted to do forensics. I was going to school for forensics, and I was volunteering at the same time doing forensic. I was volunteering for suicide awareness, and it was just like pathology. Yes, there you go, Nico. Oh, I love
yeah.
it.
Nico, a nurse.
Nico dope. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So I was in school with a lot of nurses. I got a lot of nursing friends because we do the same. We was doing the same exact classes. Yes, I was going to school for pathology. That's exactly what I was doing. So and I did too. I got like 7 chemistry classes. You all. So all of you nurses and doctors that are on here listening to me, I'm very well versed in science. I love science. It's my favorite subject. Science and math, I'm really, really good in. I got 7 chemistry courses. I got 3 biology courses. So I'm very, very well versed when it comes to science. So that's how it started. So basically, make a long story short, I'm not bragging about myself. We're not doing all of that. But what I'm saying is that it prepared me. Doing that kind of work prepared me for all the things that they brought to me. Like people was doing mirroring spells on me, glam spells, and I shouldn't use the word spells, but they was trying to mirror me online, like copy everything I do, but not like dissing me, but complimenting me at the same time,
hmm,
showing me attention, but giving me no attention, isolation spells, just a whole bunch of just nastiness that just leads people to kill themselves. But I had already knew this because I was already working in a situation, well, not volunteering my time in situations, hundreds and thousands of situations just like the ones that came at me. So I was ready.
yeah, yeah. We're gonna take a. We're gonna. I'm pinning. Put the link in, and if anybody want to come up real quick and ask a couple of questions, let me see. We can do that. But yeah, guys, how you liking the bill though? Yeah, but the thing is, what I want to do with this channel is try to try to get back to that commonality of
Yes, that
humanity.
girl
Yeah.
Angela. You see what Angela said? She's dope. She said there's a bunch of very wounded people online parading as sane. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
I love her. Go ahead, girl. I love you. I love you too, Nico. I love all y'all.
Hey, I know that all too well.
You sound like me. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know that all too well.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main thing I want to bring back. Just me and Star both, we want to bring back common principles to our people to first work on themselves and then work on what I got. Oh, we got Trip C coming up. What's going on, Trip C?
Nothing much. I want to just say sorry. I missed the first part of the live. I had fell asleep.
Yeah,
It took me like 20 minutes to wake up. So, yeah.
yeah.
I was here in spirit, though.
Okay. Oh well, I seen you put the community tab up. I
I
appreciate that
put that
also.
up because I said that was going to be my live for the night because all of a sudden the Sandman did a drive-by on me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Hey
but
guys.
keeping it in, keeping it
in
in.
order to let me just say this before everybody starts talking, but in order to get to the source of problems, we got to actually be honest with ourselves about how ugly the problem is sometimes. And Star actually, a lot of things that she said she didn't have to say, but these kind of stories identify with people when they're alone. Like there's people that's going through a lot of traumatic issues and going through sex trafficking or certain lifestyles that need to hear these kind of messages raw and hear a story of someone coming out of that, and rebuilding themselves and being in a better place in life where they don't have to worry about being homeless. They don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from. They don't have to worry about their safety. But in order to get to that place you want to be, first you got to start with the honesty within self about what problems you have. And then thing is reach out the hand to get help. Or if there's no hand, help yourself. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, fail at failing. Keep failing until you actually fail at failing, and then you'll win. So y'all go ahead.
Nah, you know what? Remember, Octavius, I told you sometimes when people are, challenging you or competing with you, just be like, you know what, you won.
You actually fail at failing, then you'll win. So y'all go ahead. Gary, you got the computer
Octavius,
on.
I told you sometimes when people are, challenging you or competing with you, just be like, you know what, you won.
You actually fail at failing, then
Hey guys.
Hey,
y'all go ahead. Turn your YouTube down, Gary.
Is it off?
Yeah, good now. Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah.
How you
Go
doing?
go and stop what you were saying, and I think Gary would have asked a question.
Oh,
nah, we good. Let Gary go. We good. It
All
ain't.
right.
We could talk. Yeah.
how you doing, Miss Star?
I'm okay, Gary. Nice having you here. Thank you for coming.
Hey, I really love your story. You're a veteran, huh?
Yes, I am. Yep. A live one. Thanks to God first, and definitely sending Octavius to my life. Yep.
I mean, I really enjoyed your story, but it's one thing. Hey, so that stuff really happens like that. That sex trafficking and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I tell
But
you
I
that.
didn't.
So that's my story. You know, everybody's story is different, but that's my and the thing about me, I'm not a snitch because I was in a situation that I chose to be in. So I can't sit up here and tell on people because I guess that's what it is. But what I can say is Octavius is my friend for a very, very, very big reason. Now, is it still going on out there? Yeah, but we just gotta pray for. I'm not in a position to tell on anybody because you don't know these people are all. You don't know who's connected to who. So I'm just glad that I got away, and I'm keeping that between me and God and Octavius, and that's it.
Okay, Miss Star. One more thing. Uh, I be reading a lot about how many missing young black girls, like 60 some thousand a year. They never hear from them and stuff like that. You know, people say it's sex trafficking and organ what harvesting,
Organ harvesting.
organ like that. I mean,
Yeah.
you kind of like you're in a real dangerous space. You're in a
Yeah.
real bad place.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. And I want to thank you again. I'm a veteran. I'm a Marine. I want to really thank you for your
Thank
for your testimony. I see, in your whole story, you always kept mentioning God. You always held on to God. Even in your lowest point, you would always mention God. And I just, it was touching me when you said stuff like that. You kept mentioning God and your son. Then you saying what Octavius did, but you kept holding on to God. You kept referring always back to God. Now you saying you're doing your work in the Salvation Army and stuff like that. You got your son doing the work in the Salvation Army. I mean, that's really giving back. I mean, that's really like giving up. You talking about conscience and giving back to our community. We need stuff. That's what kind of stuff we need in our community. When you go and help people like that, go to a shelter and do stuff like that, because most people, like you said, the smell and the food and stuff like that. I remember going out to the LA mission on Skid Row down there, stuff like that, helping out. But I want to congratulate you and take my hat up to you. I'm going to get off. I'm just going to sit back and listen.
Well, I want to say this to you, bro, and the reason why I'm gonna say this to you is because I plan on telling other young ladies who's in that life that want to get out this. God is not nice. God is sovereign. See, the devil don't come with a pitchfork. He comes with all that charm and all the money and hey, boo boo, and that's how he gets you. But God is a mean, fair, sovereign God. The truth ain't never going to be bright-eyed, bushy tail. It can be, but it ain't coming like that. It's coming direct.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so even at my lowest point, the reason why I kept God within me is because one thing that I always know, even being in the conscious community, is that sometimes God will allow the devil.
Yes,
God
ma'am.
will allow the devil to try you, like he did with Abraham, and like he did with Lot, and like he did with a couple of other different characters in the Bible. I don't
Joe.
really read the Bible for the
Yes, ma'am.
stories, because the stories can be what their stories are, but because the God speaks in parables, you look at the characters. The characters is what you pay attention to when it comes to biblical, because it's about applying it to your life. I really feel like the Bible is a brain book. It's actually a science more so than anything else. That's my opinion. And I definitely believe in the utmost high, but the way that I received God and why I was able to keep him in my life during my low time is because I understand that the devil is the one that makes everything look peachy creamy and everything is all perfect, and oh, my life is so perfect, look at me, this is all fantasy, and I'm nice and I don't curse and I don't do this and that. Those right there. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but those are satanic traits. Satan is nice. Satan has charisma. He will smile in your face,
Right.
compliment you, and dish you at the same time. God not gonna do that. God gonna put what's right in front of your face and show you what you're dealing with, and he gonna give you the choice: do you want in or do you want out?
Yes, ma'am. You're right. I totally agree. Thank you so much for your story. I'm just gonna sit back and listen. I really
Thank you for
appreciate it.
coming up, Gary.
Thank you, Mr. Prime.
All right.
Let me mute. Put it on mute.
Oh, you want to drop down, or you want me to? You want to just stay here? Okay. Angelica, Nico, what's going on?
Hey y'all, how's everybody
Hey,
this evening?
hey, my beautiful people. Hey, beautiful Queen Star. Hey,
Hi,
bro.
beautiful.
Hey
Hey,
Star, how are you this evening?
Gary. Hey, Angelica.
Fine. Thank y'all for coming.
No
Yeah,
problem.
I just wanted to say really quickly, I'm not going to hold you guys too long. Um, I want to say again, thank you for coming and blessing us with your story. I think a lot of people that will hear this either now or on replay will find a lot of value. One thing that I do want to point out about everything that I heard pertaining to your particular story, Star, is what I heard was something that I actually heard about the difference between endurance or perseverance and then transformation. And a lot of times we as individuals kind of get stuck and staying enduring through something and just kind of being okay with how life is. And then sometimes it takes some people, in this case Prime, to help us do that full transformation. And I think that that's super inspiring, and it's super dope of you two to come up here again, and share that aspect of you guys' lives. And I just, again, thanks. It's always great to hear you guys.
Thank you.
But
And
that's it.
that's good. I just wrote that down. Transformation.
Guys, this is just the beginning. So
Yeah, she hit that on the nail. Actually, that was excellent. That I really like that input. Thank you so much, because that you basically are definitely tuned in and you're listening, because that's exactly what this is about.
Yeah, yeah, it's really brave, and I know, um, because there was a lot of aspects of your story that I could relate to, personally in my life, and just listening to you being so free about sharing that information, is again another testament of how solid you are in your life and on your square. And not a lot of people are that brave. They're not that comfortable in their own skin to be that open and forthcoming, regardless of critique or judgment. And we definitely need more people like
and
that
that's how
around.
you get transformation. You gotta strip down butt naked.
You have to, yeah.
Yeah.
it-
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why,
Yeah.
Yep.
remember, God asked Adam and Eve why you got clothes on. And he didn't. It was a subliminal. It's not real clothes. It wasn't real leaves. That's what it was about.
Hmm.
You got to be. Don't lie to me. Why y'all lying?
Yeah.
I can't help you. I can't help you if you're gonna if you. I can't be of God is like, I can't be of service to y'all if y'all lying to me.
Right. And lying to yourself about it. Yeah.
Right. So that's what that whole Adam and Eve, why you got clothes on theory was about. It wasn't about no actual leaves. You just gotta, because I do teach Bible study to people who are just starting to learn the Bible, because I have the Strong's Concordance and I got a couple of different things, and I'm a daily reader. I'm a daily reader, my daily bread. So I like to help other women, especially because I feel like women, I know I should be saying this like this, but I feel like women teach women better than they teach men. So I personally like to teach other women that want to get into it, because I have a lot of, I've met a lot of females in the past, like, I want to read the Bible, but every time I read it, I just feel like, I get cross-eyed, or I can't understand, or I go back and forth. It's a technique. God speaks in parables, and that's why you have to have sister links, so that sisters can link together, and people like me and other women like me can come along and help our sisters understand the word as well.
Mhm.
That's a fact. That's a
Hmm.
fact.
Hmm.
But again, thank you guys. It's always a pleasure.
You welcome.
Um, yeah, you guys have a great night.
All
Yeah, I feel we about to end in a minute. But I know they've got Nikwa and Verse probably want to ask a question, and then we're gonna go
Um,
to Trip C's live and after this.
okay, well, it's always a pleasure having you guys, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You guys' story really had me tearing, because, like, I feel like it's so hard to come across legit people, people who are really out for your greater good. Because most people in this world, unfortunately, think of self first. It's like, what can I get out of it? It's all about that type of mentality. And the fact that I heard that story, like, it only proves that there's still good people out there. I love the fact that, you were strong enough in um, your wisdom and strength uh, brought you up here to speak your truth and to speak your story without unapologetically, and Prime, like like I said, you're my bro, and I really
Yeah, you my
appreciate
sister.
what the plot or the spot you took or placed yourself in Star's life. And I love you, Star, because of the fact that you allowed him to be that spot in your life, if that makes sense.
oh girl, I didn't. I ain't Octavius, tell him.
But you eventually took it in,
Yeah,
and
I
and
bet you
that's
Yeah,
the
I did,
beautiful
but
thing.
he's definitely my hero. Yep, he's
Yes,
my
and
hero.
I
I'd
like
appreciate
the
that.
fact that you guys are able to come on here and speak your speech. Very inspiring,
Thank you.
guys. So inspiring. I love the
Mm.
live, and you're always a pleasure. And that's really what I have to say. I really appreciate you guys.
Octavius
Thank you so
had to
much.
pull me away from that contra community. Everything else was good, but that was the hardest. challenge he had with me was that conscious community stuff. But he was the
Yeah.
only one there for me, so I had to eventually make a choice because Octavia's like, listen, I can't work with you if you keep following them people. They not
Yeah.
gonna for you but destroy you.
You know,
Yeah.
the greatest strength in a friendship is like basically being able to tell one another when you're wrong without any kind of consequence to it. You
Yeah.
know, like, you know, and that's what I love is like, okay, well, you know what? Like you were able to say, okay, well, you know what? He was telling me this, and you have integrity enough to know where like you where you could have done better and still can be cool about it. You know, like, and I think that's plays a big part in a lot of people's friendship demise because they don't want to hear the truth about themselves. I would
Yeah.
rather have a friend that's going to tell me about myself so I can be better versus being a yes man and staying in the same spot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think I've been spoiled by people like Star in my life because we have brutal honesty, when we talk. And so I'm used to brutal honesty. And coming on YouTube and making friends on here, it was just a strange thing just to find out there was so many frauds and scammers,
Yeah. Oh
even
yeah.
within the even within the little circle that we're in. You know what I mean? But that's why I just wanted to like teach lessons like this. We're gonna that next live is gonna be based upon like some of her travels. You know, well, your last vacation was Egypt, right?
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. And like the things she learned in Egypt that was contrary to the Nawapian teaching that she was a part of at one point, that she told me about in private. So we can go a little bit into that too. When you actually go to Egypt, there's a whole different story compared to what you hear in the conscious community from the
And the
Kemetic.
first thing I want to talk about on that one, we ain't gonna talk
Mm,
about it now because that's too long and it's a lot I want to share with them.
mm.
But I already shared it with you, Octavius, but I want to share with them about the Ankh and the cross. Though they're both the same thing. So if people try to tell you, oh, you're contradicting, one minute you want to wear a cross, next minute you want to wear Ankh, you contradict. That's the devil. Don't listen to it. I'm gonna give y'all a lesson on both of those crosses.
Yeah, Gary got his own.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with wearing a crucifix and an Ankh. They're both we'll talk about it on the next one because it's a lot.
Yeah.
But again,
Well, all right.
guys, thank you so much. I really
Thank you
appreciate
so
you
much,
guys.
Tamika.
Love you guys so much. Um, and thank you again for sharing. I cannot wait for the next live. I'm gonna jump off.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be in the chat while listening though.
Yeah, we about to end it in a minute. Unless Verse, you got something to say? Be nice now. Verse just want to jump up here. Yeah, we about to end it and
I have one question, if it's okay.
go ahead.
Hello, Star. By the way, what's going on, my man? Thanks for having me up as a guest. But I have just one quick question. Star, what was your MOS when you were in the service?
42 Alpha and 75 Hotel, which was human resources specialist.
Hmm. And what was the other?
42 Alpha and 75 Hotel, human resources specialist.
Okay,
That's what's up.
Oh, okay.
cool. Well, that's all, my man. I, I'll catch y'all later.
All right, I appreciate you coming and being respectful, Verse. I'm always your friend, bro. All right, well, we're gonna head over to the treehouse and
All
after
righty.
this live, so I'll see you over
Okay.
there.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, this has been one of the productions of Octavius Prime and Starmarie Jones. Thank everybody for coming out. Um, may God bless you. Good night.